Okay, the stream is starting. Just give me one moment to update a couple things. Okay, looks like my streams are going good. I just need to do a couple edits. With the YouTube thumbnail. There we go. Looks like YouTube's good to go. I think Rumble's now good to go. Looks like Twitch is good to go. I think everything's good to go. Oh, there's one thing I forgot. There we go. That should be good to go now. Oops, and looks like that fell. Something on my microphone fell, so you may hear some sounds from my microphone. Give me one moment. It's the sort of like the wind cover for my microphone. It's getting a little bit loose. There we go, that should be good enough. Doesn't be direct, but it seems like in a good spot there. So let's go ahead and get started. And let's see, got a handful of replays, so let's go get started. Let's go just go with this one. Let's just start from the top. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Red Alert 3 replay. Spawn on the left side as the Green Allies, we have Spawn on the right side as the Magenta Empire, we have Dachi IMK. We got a handful, at least one instant generator, got an instant dojo, 2, probably 3 into repair refineries. Walls going on up. Refinery core has been put out. Second refinery core is almost ready as well. There we go. And packed up the MCV as well. That's pretty early for a pack up. Now do have an air base right here. And that may be close enough to get repairs on both those areas. First Vindicator's almost... That's an Apollo? Wait, why is there Apollo first? Am I going crazy? That has to be some sort of miscue, right? Most people go for a Vindicator first, trying to rush out and bomb a engineer. There's the Apollo. Takes out the burst drone, which I suppose is pretty good. Nobody would expect an Apollo to be the first thing deployed out, but it was. More bombs coming out. Looks like we've got another ore refinery now ready to be deployed on out. And pack some NCV up as well. We've got this instant dojo here. The engineer will come on out. Vindicators are too far away. There was a brief moment there where the Vindicators could have bombed it. And now we've got the infantry advancing towards the middle of the map. And we do also have a Defender Corps there. Immediately turns into rocket anti-aircraft mode. Best to keep them in anti-aircraft mode because it's harder to get reaction times for anti-air rather than for anti-ground. And here comes 3 Vindicators coming on in. And wipes out, destroys that instant dojo before a engineer pops out. He's gotten his 3 Vindicators, 1 Apollo out in the air. Apollo sitting on the high ground. Or hovering, not necessarily sitting. And it's got some Pure Wars now heading to the various, or just to that single garrison. Vindicators coming for a bombing run. He may bomb these Imperial Warriors. Guess not. He's going in deep. There's an instant dojo here. 2 Vindicators can pick that off. And he's coming in for a bomb run, maybe hitting that Defender Corps. Takes out the power plant. One Vindicator does go down. Apollo is in pursuit of that Jet Tengu. Oh, that should be a relatively good trade for the allied player. Got a refinery now out at sea. Here Warriors trying to clean up that power plant. Going, nope, not going for a multi-gunner turret. This power plant's receiving quite a bit of fire right now. He needs to get these Vindicators over here for bombing. Naval Yard has been pulled out, and here comes the Vindicators. It does get inside that garrison, very nice. It does take out the power plant. And it's going to start sieging down the ore refinery, getting some great damage there. We got a pair of Apollos here. Looks like replaces Vindicator for an Apollo. Interesting. This has been claimed. Another Dojo core here, going for the other oil derrick. Very nice. Now we do have a Riptide out at sea. It is close enough to get automatic repairs. But these Imperial Warriors are getting some great damage on these ore refinery. They can put some another big bomber run into that garrison, but the ore refinery is actually under siege. We got a big swell of Jet Tengus now coming on forward. He may need to get a multi-gun turret in this region. Nothing being deployed on out of there. He does get out of the garrison now. Riptide's finding some bursts there, and now do have a assault destroyer. Assault destroyer can maintain radius of the of the naval yard to get repairs. And Vindicators did come in for a bombing run. Oh no, these are the Apollos. And now boot camp has been pulled out. He's going to be hitting boot camp now. I'm not sure what he's going to pull out of the boot camp. Is he going to pull out Peacekeepers? Does get a bonsai charge off. Gets on the wrong and puts up a shield right there. Let's clear out one of them. The heroic one's still alive. It does clean that up. Does get guns down the wounded one. He could have sold off that boot camp to get out freshly health Peacekeeper. It does go ahead and bomb down whatever that was. The already mini sub looks like. Prospector makes his way back on home. He will need to get out another ore refinery. Magenta has some great fuel control. Considering the two oil barracks, he has a superior amount of income. And does pull out another ore refinery. Riptide is receiving a bit of fire, but apparently the Riptide's more resilient than a power plant. And the Prospector does get harassed a little bit there. Sees a full bomber run there taking it out, as well as that one. Denying the harassment. I'm not sure where the Prospector went here. It could have been down right there. This Prospector is, however, making his way up north. Eyeing for northern expansions, going for a lot of expansions. Do have him low in power. He does either destroyed or sold off that Defender Corps. He has another Defender Corps now out the field. Paul's pushing way forward. They do need to fall back. Does get a nice little kill there. Actually, that was a bit of a late retreat. And up here, looks like the Prospector does get spotted and does put the Imperial Warrior on top of the expansion point, so he will need to pull out a multi-gun turret. Or a Vindicator's can bomb it. Drops 2 bombs there, very nice. Dojo Corps here still up and going. He could eventually grab the observation post. Two assault destroyers are now in the field. We do got these Yari mini subs advancing forward. Does get Final Forges off on the ore refinery. Doesn't take it out. Another Yari mini sub. The assault destroyers cannons can hit the naval targets and does take out that ore refinery. Good harassment there. Did throw in a lot in there. We do have the command hub here. You can pull out, of course, like I said, the multi-gunner turret. No multi-gunner turret on the build queue. Now assault destroyers will make their assault out. Apollo's advancing forward. We got, looks like 4 Apollos. I'm not sure what happened to the Vindicators. One Apollo does go down. He may have, yeah, he does have a second airbase, so the Vindicators are still probably up and going. This Prospector is making his way back home. He could start making his way up north. More and more Imperial warriors are advancing forward up north as well. Assault destroyers are at sea. He may just want to go and attack. Assault destroyers can go in and crush the prospectors. But we do have some chopper VXs now up in the air. But he does have some Apollo escort. All 4 Apollos come in to support the assault destroyers. And the command hub does go down to the mass Imperial warrior. He does have this extra prospector still here. And the Apollos are getting ripped apart. He does try to bring the Black Hole Armor to protect them, but looks like the Black Hole Armor cannot protect them. Thank you for the YouTube subscribe. I didn't see your name. Apollos do go and go on down. 2 striker bases on the ground. It looks like the assault destroyers go down as well. That's a lot of losses for the allied player. The other assault destroyers actually still in this region does manage to destroy or crush the prospector. Does activate the Black Hole Armor there. Black Hole Armor does allow them to make more damage there. War Collector maybe try and run away from the assault destroyer, and the assault destroyer does go down as well. That's a lot of Imperial warriors up here. We got the command hub being deployed on out. I'm assuming it's close enough for the expansion point. At this point in time, he probably needs a couple multi-gunner turrets as well to protect that. Tier 2 has been researched, so we could see quadrocopters among other items. Massive bonsai charge coming forward, trying to close the distance quickly. But everything is surrounded by walls except for this little patch here, which can be quickly redeployed with walls. There's another patch here of walls. And here comes Vindicator bombing runs. We've got the Riptide from earlier still here. Seeing quite a bit of fire. Looks like got at least one heroic Imperial warrior. And does go towards the airfield for repairs. And he's receiving quite a bit of fire there. He needs to make sure to focus down some of these wounded Imperial warriors. And he's out of the range of the repairs. It's a bit of an oversight and does go down. That was easily savable. Big bomb runs there. Maybe bad bomb micro. Quadrocopter coming forward. Now trying to siege down the ore refinery. Needs to pull out some more wall segments. Over here got the command hub not being focused down. Good bombing runs there. And these guys are all quite wounded. The Hurricane, of course, can heal, but will be frozen. Can he still heal while being frozen? I'm not sure. Your warriors now trying to make their advance towards this power plant. We've got the assault destroyer out at not out at sea, but on land. After taking a page out of Dr. Brackman's book. Don't you wish your destroyers to sprout glorious legs and make their way on land? Definitely not how he said that. Oh yes, not how he said it. Assault destroyers is receiving a bit of fire from the Imperial warriors, trying to freeze on the garrison. It does freeze garrison there as well. Does get the bomb there. Number of Apollos here. One of the big hitters does go down, but a number of the jet tankus go down. Now we do got the Striker VX pushing way forward, but the Black Hole Armor does absorb those shots. So the fire from the ground going into the air, the Black Hole Armor can intercept, but it looks like the jet tankus versus the Apollos in the air cannot be intercepted. Or maybe poorly. More Yari mini-subs making their way forward. Yari mini-subs cannot... Oh, Black Hole Armor does not stop the last final voyage. In purple, the Empire player still has both oil derricks. Do have a couple Javelin troops inside the garrison, which can be very handy in order to ward away these Striker VXs. More Yari mini-subs would probably take 2 more, though he could stick around and throw some torpedoes. Nope, the final voyage was just enough. And immediately redeploys it. He had that queued up already. Not sure if that was a good or bad thing. He actually had that queued up and there's no actual potential expansion point, so he had that queued up believing it was going to go down to more Yari mini-subs. Prospectors make his way forward. The Yari mini-subs could push their way forward and throw some torpedoes on the Prospectors. Why is there 2 Prospectors there? He may have actually grabbed the Prospector over here. Quadrocopter advances, is trying to freeze down the Bureau docks. Docks does get frozen. It's just tier 1. Good bomb around there. Again, fully veteran, fully heroic. But now we do have a whole handful of Imperial Warriors advancing forward. These are Javelin troops, not Peacekeepers. Yari mini subs getting some hits there onto the Prospector. Does take it out there with the torpedoes. This command hub is receiving quite a bit of fire now. Does get fully filled. And Yari mini subs going to try to be frozen. And Vindicator does not get the kill there, and even the heroic veterancy needs all 3 bombs in order to get the kill on a Yari mini sub when fully heroic. We got a massive wave of Apollos now out in the air. Try and bonsai charge forward. A nice little garrison re-garrison there, getting rid of all those Javelin troops there. Yari mini subs, one that's been frozen. Got a good number of Tsunami tanks and Imperial Warriors advancing forward. The Assault Destroyer just needs to get on out there. Going out to sea is probably a good idea. The cannon does not have full 360 coverage, and the Assault Destroyer does go down. Command hub does go down, gaining veterancy on the wounded Yari mini sub. And now these Cryocopters get spotted by the Jet Tengus. Apollo's now finding on the Jet Tengus. Going to try to pursue them. Able to get some damage there.
No way!
And one does go down. And they do transform on the ground. Or in the sea. Would have gone into IFE is not enough. I thought I heard a final squadron. Looks like we don't see a final squadron. And here comes an aircraft carrier. So he has tier 3. EMP missile gets a direct hit there, getting everything except for a single striker PX, but nothing for the follow-up. Cryo again now coming forward. It should be able to freeze down all the stuff. Does get all the point defense drones as well. And it's going to take a bit of time to get rid of all that assets. So Tsunami trying to pursue SC is low in power as well. The stuff is still frozen. Peacekeepers fades forward. The infantry gets unfrozen. It does get the Tsunami tank there. Gets one of the Striker VXs. The Elite Striker VX does transform and try to get away. And does get pursued down there and destroyed by the Apollos. Try to get the rest of these Striker VXs. They can do a mass transform. Another Striker VXs. Another Striker VX. And one of the Apollos do go down as well. Infantry start making their advance with a pseudo Tsunami tank there. He does have a fully heroic Vindicator. I'm not sure if it has bombs. And a fully heroic Vindicator is able to bomb down Tsunami tank by itself. Imperial Warriors are making way forward. Aircraft carrier getting some good sorties. Now Emperor's Rage coming on forward. He needs to redeploy some more wall segments here. He may actually not have build radius there. And that ore refinery does go down, starting to hit the airfield now. Here comes the Apollos. And, oh, number of the aircraft going down. Now we got the Magenta missiles firing away. Does stop. No, the Tsunami tank's still alive. Got all these forces as well. The airfield can still be under siege. Needs to break open some holes. This Prospector's ore refinery is under siege as well. He does have one expansion now at sea. Assault Destroyer and veteran aircraft carrier with now 2 aircraft carriers. And does go and seal off the infrastructure there. You could potentially save some of the Peacekeeper by moving towards the edge of the wall segment. Not like that would matter much. Green does not have a whole lot of infrastructure left. We've got 2 Magenta oil derricks still. These aircraft carriers, not oil refineries, but here comes the aircraft carriers. Oh, how long has this one been stuck right there? Does get destroyed either way. Yari mini subs charging forward. Final Voyage is getting some good splash damage there. Assault Destroyer and gets that Yari mini sub there. Does lose the heroic aircraft carrier to the Yari mini subs. And also got the heightened technology. I forget what exact that protocol is called. The Cryocopters. None of these sorties going down. Mecha Bay is receiving quite a bit of fire. It is the level 2 Mecha Bay. Ooh, and both these naval units are severely wounded. Trying to freeze down the Imperial docks, but we've got one more Yardie mini sub, and it will go straight for the aircraft carrier. Takes it out. Does manage to save the Mecha Bay, and Dockyard is frozen. A number of Striker VXs here, one fully heroic. And I've got a pair of Jet Tengus, both of them veteran. Assault Destroyer does finish it off, does get one level of veterancy. That must have been point defense drones. Another naval dockyard being deployed on out. We've got 2 refineries for Magenta and 2 Oro decks still. Green only has 1. And right now Green is going straight for military. Trying to freeze down this dockyard. We've got more Assault Destroyers. Cryogen does come forward, getting some great damage there. Needs to make sure he can start getting crushes and kills there. Got a veteran and elite Assault Destroyer. Apollo's charging him forward, does pick up the aircraft. Assault Destroyer does go down. The veteran aircraft carrier or Assault Destroyer does get the crush there. Severely wounded. Got some shrinks there on the Striker VXs and freezes. He's hit that Defender Core. Defender Core does not get destroyed, nor does this Prospector. Imperial Dock could be unfrozen relatively soon. And we got a, looks like it appear to be a Wall Swing or Defender Core. Defender Core being deployed on now. Does get a freeze on one of those Defender Cores. This Defender Core has finally been chilled out. Does get refrozen. Too many Defender Cores here. Needs another Assault Destroyer. Aircraft carrier being deployed out. But he's going, he is forced a massive response with these Defender Cores. Soon there's going to be 4 deployed out in the field. Let's take up the Imperial docks there. No veterancy onto the aircraft carrier. Trying to go for a bomb run. Sorties onto that ore refinery is being successful. Here comes another bomb run. It will take out the naval yard and does throw a couple bombs there onto the Defender Core. Has a good number of defense Apollos. He does pull back the wounded Cryocopter. Might as well get it repairs. A good there on the instant generator. Got another Mecha Bay. He will need some Striker VXs and Jet Tengus. He does have plenty of economy still. He can actually abandon that base. That would be a great idea, but he can't have the possibility. Tsunami Tank now trying to hit this aircraft carrier. Gains good damage there. Does get the Emperor's Rage. And a Striker VX on the sea does get some good hits there. Takes out one of the Cryocopters. Does keep the Tsunami Tank frozen. Trying to go for the bomb run there on the heroic. Striker VX does force it to transform. And now the Apollo's going to be pursuing it. It's an opportunity. One's elite, one's veteran. And that fully heroic Striker VX could lead off a lot of efficiency. Got the 2 veteran jet tank, Mega Tengus that we saw earlier are still alive, trying to hit this power plant. And got another ore refinery there. He does actually put back his construction yard near his original spawn. Power plant is almost down over here. We've got still a frozen Vindicator. And we've got the Imperial Warriors getting some damage there onto the aircraft carrier. He is low in power. Does deploy another power plant. Riptide out at sea. Does get a nice transform there. And it sounds like he got to transform the other locations as well. Able to deny both those refinery locations. Aircraft carrier, once it gets a fully heroic, gets that extra health regen, which can be very handy indeed. I think he's going for the Defender Core. Just for a power plant. Not shooting down the strike craft in time. Does get efficiency there and does manage to get fully heroic. Ooh, and these Bureau Warriors could be quickly killed off. One bomb run could do it. Bomb runs onto the Striker VXs, very nice. And now we've got a sleeper ambush. Getting 5 Inkbusters right there can be very deadly indeed. They're excellent versus structures and does get 2 of them fully heroic immediately. Try and cleave through some of this walls. He may have misclicked it right there. Needs to start cleaving through some walls. Cryogen has been cast right there. Does get frozen or low power due to the fact that MCV was backed on up. Ooh, an aircraft carrier does in fact go down. Maybe from the Bureau Warriors, that's unlikely though. Got some already mini subs out at sea. The air base is out at sea as well. Gains repairs from the air base. Sells it off. Oh, he's going to try to crush those Imperial Inkbusters. Does go ahead and hold, keep them suppressed. He could use some final voyage there onto the airfield depending on getting the aircraft off the deck, but looks like nothing's packed up at the moment. May get something there. That is going to destroy out the air base. Peacekeeper advancing forward, gains some great AoE damage onto the tank busters. Getting only one of them, however. Now the Peacekeeper's advancing forward. Cryocopter's getting some good freezes there. Looks like the MCV was fully frozen. Vindicator coming for some surgical bombing runs. Gets the engineer as well. Vegeta still has plenty of income, but no production structures other than a instant dojo. He needs to start producing stuff for instant dojo immediately, and likely he has a plenty of 2 oil derricks and 1 ore refinery. Oh no, he does have Imperial docks. Very good. Green's been forced back onto land. Not sure how much income Green has left, but doesn't have a lot of structures left. Not even a power plant, so he will need to blow out a power plant, then ore refinery if possible. And Naval Dockyard does get spotted there. He may need to go for a power plant into air base, because right now he does not. He may not have enough money. Let's take a look on their money. Howdy. Yeah, the Empire player has plenty of income. He actually lost his dojo, so he needs to start spamming out ore collectors, because they at least have a gun. Got ore refinery here, very good. The allied player has at least a income and able to produce, but right now he needs to protect his income right there. He does have the free trade upgrade. Not a lot of ore left right there. This ore refinery had about the same amount. Going out on airfield, he needs to get out some multi-gun turrets. He may not realize how much his opponent is crippled. He needs to start pulling out, like I said, ore collectors. They have a gun. And does wall it up. And there's still opening there. If he walls up a bit more, he doesn't really. He will actually stop him from actually save his structures if he walls off enough. Walls off enough. Blah, can't speak. And there we go. His MCV's now perfectly safe. And his ore running is now perfectly safe. There's nothing can do to break it. I don't know if ore collectors can break through the walls. They could potentially. And not deploy any ore collectors. He's trying to force fire the ground, but it's not going to break the walls. He's repairing the wall segments as well. Ore refinery is now being frozen and potentially destroyed. Does get frozen there. And the ore refinery does go down. This ore refinery will go down, and Magenta's backed out of the game. This and Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Not campaign, Profiles Replay Theater. This one. That's good. I think I may have already cast this one. Let's take a quick look. Usually at the end of the day, I tend to forget to delete the replays. Nope, I did not cast this one. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Red Alert 3 replay. So on the bottom left side as the Cyan Empire, we have Jermo. I have no idea. Spawn as the teammate as the yellow allies, we have Vindy. Spawn on the north side as the green allies, we have Death Warrior 02. Spawn on the right side as the blue allies, we have JJ. Spawn as this purple reactor next to his blue allies, we have... Wait, no, that was JJ. Blue is PP Sith. This is JJ. And as the orange Soviet player, we have Predator. Which I believe Predator is actually a Kane's Wrath player. Granted, this is a relatively old replay. I think it's like 2016, but should be good nonetheless. Looks like we got some bears coming on forward. We got some bears and a combat engineer and a flak trooper. Down south, we got just economy. Dojo core right there. Got a bear. Want to play hug any of the combat engineers there. And oh, there must be not be an opening there. And got a mutual trade there as well. And it looks like the the Dojo core does go down to the flak troopers. One mag mine, one couple flak trooper bursts there. Burst shots. What's it considered called? Firing a giant flak gun, portable flak gun. And we got Dojo core right here as well. It's interrupting the deployment of Orange, but he does go through the mag mines there in time. Conscripts are good hit kills there by the Imperial Warrior. And wait, that's a fast war factory. You got a terror drone and a combat engineer deploying on forward. Got a bear out C. Over here we got a big wave of peacekeepers on both sides. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green peacekeepers versus 13, 14 blue peacekeepers. And blue's going eye for some turret pushing. Down south got a flak trooper versus Mecha Tengu. And just go ahead and up armor there. Got some bears right there. Throw some bombs onto them. And blue has a very good line of peacekeepers right now on the field. Over here, we got a bear inside the wall. It's natural habitat. Oh, and he bombed down some of his own wall segments there. Not sure if that's useful. Wall segments are relatively cheap. We got a multi-gun turret here. He can throw a peacekeeper inside of it to start annihilating these peacekeepers. After all, a fully automatic shotgun is pretty effective versus infantry. Sickles and Terror Drones getting some good snares there, but the Mecha Tengu does finish off. Does take out the flak trooper as well. Maybe eyeing for some honorable discharge. No, he's going to just back out to C in order to escape. And does go ahead and his teammate goes and bombs the multi-gun turret as Green starts pushing forward with his peacekeepers. He can throw his own peacekeepers inside the multi-gun turret and didn't get one inside of it in time, but does go ahead and advance forward. Good bomb runs there by his teammate. And Green has a good number of peacekeepers here, but does receive quite a bit of splash damage there. Multi-gun turret has been going out. He's still a peacekeeper inside of it. And there we go, got the fully automatic shotgun. Getting some great damage right there, taking down that firing line of peacekeepers. Remember, these peacekeepers have American voice lines. They're not Brits. And they're not redcoats either. Bullfrogs and Sickle trying to harass this prospector. Mostly the Sickle. Sickle does go in the mix of it, getting some good damage, but does largely miss the jump there. Black Trooper Bullfrogs do get some good hits there on the Vindicator taking out, and one of the Bullfrogs does in fact go down. Down south, we got Orange claimed his opponent's Olio Derek, and we do have the Dojo core trying to set up to reclaim it. Yellow's coming into the bomb around to support his teammate. We got a good number of peacekeepers here as well. Does sell off the multi-gun turret for as much as you can for a refund. Not necessarily a full refund, but max refund. Got a good number of sickles here that should be very useful, but the multi-gun turret is still problematic. We got a lot of laser lock javelins here. The sickles need to start advancing forward. Green has his own multi-gun turret there. Does quickly finish off there with his peacekeepers. And still got the fully automatic multi-gun turret here and multiple more there as well. And throw his peacekeeper inside his teammate's multi-gun turret. Does adopt the green color scheme as well. So what if it actually becomes his? Probably not. And right now the Soviet Sickle's going to be charging forward, cutting down any additional Peacekeepers. Got some Bullfrog support as well, so the Vindicators are stuck on the deck. And they're going to be gunned on the deck as well. Does actually get a nice bomb run there as the Bullfrogs and Sickles run past. And it's going to go straight for the economy line. Over here, got a sentry gun by his teammate, and Yellow's going to receive some bomb runs, or purple, or orange. Getting all the colors mixed up. Oh, does got the Sickle there, very nice. This other Sickle will get some good harassment there. This Sickle will go ahead and jump on in. And it looks like Green's making some good headway there, or actually Cyan is, I should say, the Chopper VXs. And that one does get picked off as well. Does have vulnerable discharge over here. We got the Sickle still continues harassment. And needs to go ahead and jump in this Sickle as well. Yellow's advancing forward for some Peacekeepers and Javelin troops with Riptide support. War Collective Mage has tried to charge forward to get some crushes off in, and does get a Hammer Tank. Hammer Tank can go ahead and try to crush the infantry himself. Another Hammer Tank there. It does go ahead and evacuate the Riptides as he's going to lose it out of the way. Let's get the Javelin troops there, and great crushes there by that Hammer Tank. Barracks being deployed on out. Up here, we do got Magenda's force finally being cleaned on up. Green's been bruised, but not beaten. And does get a nice little Leech Beam there. Trying to seal himself a 50 cal, but he is actually getting quite healthy regen, which is being passed off to the Hammer Tank. Multi-gunner turret does get cleaned on up. May go for some crushes there. We've got a good number of Chopper VX and Jet Mega Tengus. Nice infect there onto the Tsunami Tank as the other Tsunami Tank is being focused down by the various forces. Vindicators charging on forward as well. Getting some bomb runs there. Good dodge there. Hammer Tanks don't have any anti-aircraft support, so they will need to fall back with the Chopper VXs. We've got a Tesla coil here, but no anti-aircraft forces. Good bomb run there by Yellow's Vindicators onto the Tesla coil. And Blue does have good force of Peacekeepers and Javelin troops. Not sure why he brought up the shield. Maybe he was trying to turn on the laser lock. And it looks got the Orange MCV now receiving hits by a Yari mini sub. Frontline Crusher Crane being deployed now, and we've got a Black Trooper Fancy Forward trying to go for some mag mines, but multi-gunner IFVs are relatively effective versus infantry. You got to a Leech Beam there. Now got a Desolator Strike there to lock down the barracks. Good number of Leech Beams engaged in the multi-gun turret. And now we also see Athena out in the field. Yellow's MCVs receive quite a bit of fire, getting focused down there. Riptide getting some free damage in. He does go into Toxic Corrosion. Toxic Corrosion will also help with the fight there as well. Holy crap, that is a spy. And that is a lot of free infantry for Yellow. It does cost like, what, 2,000 credits for the bribe? Bribe is 1,000 credits, and he net himself a good number of infantry, so it did pay himself. That was a good bargain deal, that's for sure. And now the ore refinery is receiving quite a bit of fire from these various forces. Hammer Tanks, Black Troopers, and Bears are making their way forward. There's a couple Sickles to the mix as well. Orange and Magenta may break through the front line. We've got some Leech Beams here. But I don't see any extra guns onto these Hammer Tanks. They can't claim themselves a Prospector attachment either. Does take up the ore refinery as well. Vindicators charging forward, does get a couple Hammer Tanks, but will receive a couple deaths themselves. So we got the Spy here. He's not camouflaged. Bears, of course, can spot camouflage spies. And I don't think they can be bribed either. Let's see if we see a bribe. He does actually go for the bribe there, but it does not affect bears. Bears, they're dumb. They don't know what money is. Apollo may get destroyed the deck, getting snared by the Terror Drone. Hammer Tanks are streaming on forward. And it looks like somebody has been defeated. Looks like just Cyan left, taking over all three players' bases. Cyan's now into his opponent's base. No, Blue is actually up north as well. This was Green and Yellow and Cyan was left side. Blue was already up here, but Cyan is making his way forward in his opponent's base, right? Am I getting all the colors mixed up? I might be. I could have sworn blue was the natural spawner there. Okay, yeah, he's shooting him down. Got Tesla coils, got multi-gunner eye turrets being deployed out. Cyan does have a massive reserve and income now, thanks to him controlling the entire base. And Cyan was the Empire player, so he has Empire protocols. He does have a Wave Force Artillery and King Oni, as well as the Ally MCV. He could deploy himself quickly a War Factory up here if you want to get some double technology. But that may not be a possibility, though he does have other technology capabilities out on the field, I can see. I just hear another, bribe there? That must have been just cash bounty. I saw the, like, plus 1,250 or 49 magenta credits, and that was the Soviet player, so it had to have been cash bounty, I heard. Ooh, Shogun Battleship almost went down. So we got a decent force here. Orange is a decent force as well. Lacks a bit of anti-aircraft. Got one extra gun on one of these hammer tanks. Blue is battered. What does blue have remaining? I see command hubs. I don't think blue has any production structures left. Just building command hubs and then selling them off for peacekeepers. It's probably a good idea to just back out of the game and give a teammate all your income. Because you don't have any, you can't bring any protocols without an MCV. Hammer tanks advancing forward. And does claim himself a Wave Force Artillery gun as well. He hit the King Oni with Wave Force Artillery. We've got the Twin Blades now engaging as well. And the King Oni does go down. Wave Force Artillery gun does hit this King Oni, doing severe damage. Getting himself elite. It's not looking good for Cyan. He's lost quite a bit of infrastructure. Blue's gathering his peacekeepers. He does take up the ore collector there. Magenta's going to break through. Able to has a lot of free targets. We've got an elite Shogun battleship still here. We also got an airfield for Cyan. Zaz access some various allied technology. You can also deploy out a prospector to get that airfield. No, there's already a prospector here. You can get a heightened clearance to get out some cryocopter steel shoes. Shogun battleship does get pursued down by the Twin Blades, giving a fully heroic Twin Blade, and it was on the wounded one as well, so we'll get some nice health regen. Sea Wings and Shogun battleships making their advance, but there are some Akula subs now pursuing them. That may have been Ultra Torpedoes right there, but I don't think they actually fused properly there. Battering Ram takes out one of the Akula subs there in ramming maneuvers, ramming speed. And the other Akula subs getting focused down. Now Shogun battleships are breaking through the line. Getting some great damage there onto the naval yards. Cyan does, of course, have the Shogun battleships can do some great work there. Blue, yep, he's going for mass command hub. Just back out of the game. Give your teammate economy. And we do have multiple hammer tanks there. We got one that's fully heroic with King Oni head, so that's how we get head. He does go and take out that power plant there, and it looks like Cyan's economy is starting to go down. The Shogun battleship, one of them does receive a Terror Drone infect. You may just need to get it back home. It is elite. It has a bit of health to play around with. The heroic ones are advancing forward. Got Sea Wings and a Sky Wing. Varus has spot the Cyan airfield. And Magenta is making advances. Let's have some bullfrogs here. We do have one prospector remains. He does use cash bounty there. I'm not sure why there's satellites being brought on there. Trying to go for more infects there. Does get him fully heroic Shogun battleship. And it looks like this does get another infect there, so these Shogun battleships are slowly being whittled away. Twin Blades advance forward. Of course, we've got the 2 Sea Wings here to help. The one heroic one will go down to the Terror Drone. And was unable to ram that one. Got a fully heroic Terror Drone there, infecting some of the Sea Wings. And this heroic Shogun battleship will be slowly torn apart. Magenta or Cyan does have a good force here, including King Oni Wave Force Artillery and some various anti-aircraft and tank busters. These are Bullfrogs, they're anti-air. Got some Twin Blades here as well, a good number of Twin Blades. Have to deal with those Striker VXs first. Put it there on the ore collector, or ore refinery. Got more Shogun battleships here. The heroic one will take a bit of time to go down. Super reactors starting to be picked off. And it looks like Blue Guy's finally back to the game, being all the income to Magenta. He has a good number of Twin Blades. The Skywing, heroic Skywing, does turn into a Sea Wing there. Guys, multiple Sea Wings still out on the field. And the Cyan Shogun battleships are just making their way forward. Got some Inkbuster Surprise being pushed forward. Good to stay on the Shogun battleship. Does not pick it off entirely, however. Orange does have economy, does have his MCV still alive, so Orange can recover. Still has this oil derrick as well, as was the airfield and war factory. Orange is not in a great position, but not in a game-ending position. Does go and transform and try and pursue that Terror Drone. He does pursue the Terror Drone. Didn't get the infect on this one in time. Does have a handful of Jet Tengus to escort, as well as the Sky Wings. The other Shogun battleships do find Orange's MCV. King Onis do get cleaned on up. Hammer Tank's going for some massive crushes there. And it looks like the Tank Busters are getting picked apart by the head of the King Oni. Cyan's full ground force does get overrun by Magenta's force. Magenta needs to be on the aggressive. This force cannot take out the sea units, might will take out the ground structures. Nakatangu is being also problematic here. Got some Sky Wings here and the Shogun battleship. And just pick that off. Starting to pick up the various infrastructure. And this is still being going on down. Ore refinery will go down. Got a handful of something being put on in there. I think that could be Desolator Strike. The Apollo does go down. Got satellites now raining on in. Just a level 1 satellites to set off the something. And Cyan's force is still alive here. He does have, of course, 2 Shogun battleships. Orange is back out of the game. Now it's just purple and Cyan. Let's go ore refinery there. This one was not refining for a very long time. Has 20,000 credits remaining. In comparison, these have 4,000, 7,000. Twin Blades start making their way forward. Does take out all those Mechatangus, not Mechatangus. Striker VXs. I'm getting mixed up right now. I'm just right now a bit exhausted right now. Daylight savings have been kicking my butt. You know, I shouldn't have messed up my schedule too much. Somehow it is. I hear a honorable final squad being deployed on forward. This gets some damage there, as well as some good spotting. We got some heroic and elite Shogun battleship at sea. Getting some good broadsides, or not necessarily broadsides, they're firing from multiple angles, trying to hit these bullfrogs. One more volley onto that super reactor, and super reactor does go down. Doesn't take too much to finish off that ore refinery. We also got still the Sea-Wings for anti-aircraft escort. Does get an effect there onto these Shogun battleships. They does, of course, have the repair. Got now these guys trying to engage this war factory. Skywings do get picked off by the bullfrogs. It does get the infect there. Got still a good number of command hubs from his teammate. He can sell them off for a bit of credits and peacekeepers. More twin blades are being pulled on out. Science base is carved down to a minimum. I hear. There's the magnetic singularity, able to stun all these forces. It looks like one of the King Onis does get infected there. Mega Tengu's gain some damage there onto this ore collector, but there of course is the Crusher Crane nearby for repairs. Final Scorch being called on in. I think it's being called in over here. Or just over here. Getting some good damage here. There's another refinery. Science losing a lot of structures just down to his original base. Still got a good number of Shogun battleships, but they need to be parked into this ford or fjord. So right now he needs to start hitting this various ground structures right there. Does have 2 sets of economy there. There's a Shogun battleship. There's some Shogun battleships, 2 heroic ones. Magenta does have some base infrastructure up north, including a handful of oil derricks. He has 3 oil derricks still alive. Crusher Crane does go down, interrupt the deployment of a battle lab. Super Reactor does go down, does get claim one of those chopper VXs. It looks like Magenta doesn't have an MCV anymore. Oh, look, there it is. Science base defenses are quite minimal, has a lot of power plants. 2 mecha base, but I don't see an MCV. Oh, there's the MCV. Magenta does have a very good force. We try to be a bit more aggressive. It's not Shogun battleship will get focused down quite quickly. None of these twin blades are fully heroic as well. Got some King Onis here, and I think that's magnetic singularity, which will instantly kill all the tank busters. Does snare himself some forces there. We've got a number of chopper VXs here. He needs to hammer tanks. And here comes the Desolator Strike as well as satellites. Let's take out one of those King Oni. We've got fully heroic Wave Force artillery. As a Green Force start advancing forward, he does have some good upgrades to some of these hammer tanks, including one with the head. Let's do a full rush there on one of the hammer tanks. The hammer tanks will go and finish off that King Oni, and now the hammer tanks are going to be overrunning the various ground forces. Not being aggressive, he needs to be aggressive. Sea-Wing says hello. There's like still 4 oil derricks from Magenta, which is actually quite good, and we got also a Spudnik over here. ore refinery does go down. His non-naval expansion there. And it looks like the Sputnik does go down. Arkan Shogun battleships over here would be quite ideal. We've got some Sea Wings here, and here comes a Shogun battleship. Final Squadron X being deployed on out. Let's check out that Jet Tengu as well. One of those Final Squadrons start just gliding away. There it goes. Sea Wings does get some shots there onto the twin blades. You got Magnetic Singularity being put out right there, but largely missing. Sky Wings gets, or Sea Wings get some good hits there on the twin blades. And now the MCVs receive quite a bit of fire. Good, it's there onto that Shogun battleship. One Shogun battleship does go down. Sea Wings, however, ripping apart these twin blades, preventing any more go down. Does use Ramming Speed on top of the Bullfrog, but doesn't get a kill there. Has two Shogun battleships in the region. What's it look like when a Hammerhead or Hammer Tank gets a Shogun battleship weapon? Does it get like a full battery? Collector will go down. He doesn't have a prospector here. He could perhaps set up for a command hub, but he doesn't have any allied infrastructure. Though deploying it and selling off for some credits wouldn't be not half bad idea. He does get a naval expansion as well, so he has currently 4 refineries, various quality. We've got another one being deployed on now. Magenta is starting to deploy out more refineries, but had been very nomadic with his base because its Shogun battleship is still ripping apart. Got the 2 elite or heroic Sea Wings and 2 heroic Shogun battleships. Takes out that ore collector. Now we also got a Terror Drone advancing forward. The Sea Wings do transform to Sky Wings and takes it out quite quickly. Well, the chopper there still go down, almost takes out the Bullfrog underneath it. We're now doing a good job at preventing those Shogun battleships from going down to those Terror drones. Just going to transform there. He may need to use a ram maneuver. Ram maneuver does take out one of the Akula subs, and all 3 Akula subs goes down to the ramming maneuvers. Oof. And now the naval yard is going to be under siege. Magenta, however, is pushing forward into this opponent's base, getting some good hits in. He's got all the Jet Tengu escort, now leaving Magenta free reign. He's going down straight from the mecha base, likely a tier 2, so he needs to get that out before any Striker VXs come out. That does go down, and Science base here will be gutted. Up north, we've got a Shogun battleship, so I can only see 1 Sea Wing, and maybe it went down to Ultra Torpedo. This one does receive a hit by the Ultra Torpedo. Going for the Super Reactor. Super Reactor will go down. There's a Sky Wing, so the other one's still alive. Now we've got Balloon Bombs. Looks like a level 1 Balloon Bomb. And here comes Final Squadron X, a little bit overkill in that region. And Magenta's MCV is pushing down south. Cyan still has a base here. He needs to make sure he maintains anti-aircraft forces since he's facing against twin blades. Magenta is out of oil barracks now, and Scion does have a production. And yet he has NCV and power plant scored away in the bottom part of the map. He does have another C-Wing over here. He can pass, does spot out this expansion, it's relatively safe. Has plenty of credits as well. Your warriors are making advance, trying to engage these forces. Let's get some great crushes there, taking out. He actually gained crushes there. The gun actually made them do flips, preventing them actually getting crushed. Takes out that one hammer tank there. Wasn't sure what gun it had, but the one with the King Oni gun is still up and going. Magenta is expanding out to this area here, trying to get some income. Looks like he doesn't have enough for another refinery. And here comes satellites. That may be a level 3 satellite. Looks like it's a level 3 satellite. Not enough to take out either structure. Doesn't have a whole lot left. Does have 2 refineries, both have plenty of ore. Pressure Green will allow him to maintain being mobile. C-Wings advance forward. Shogun battleships on the way. Blue has gotten out another expansion there. Needs to make sure that gets in the anti-aircraft mode. And now Shogun battleships are going down for the Prospector. Or ore collector. In the MCV now, CVs received quite a bit of fire. Does pack on up, receiving a bit of fire. Crusher Crane can keep it repaired up for free. Since he's pretty low in credits, maybe a good idea to let it get repaired up by the Crusher Crane. Ore collector does get infected by the Terror Drone and does get Terror Drone does get gunned down by the Defender Corps. Bloom Bomb's not being called on in. Much of his base has been gutted. He does not have anything remaining. Didn't have time to crush his ore collectors either. If he would have time to crush his ore collectors, that would have been great. Cool Sub trying to pursue the Shogun battleship, but probably won't be successful. Another ore refinery being deployed and out. Here comes the Skywing. Cool Subs lurking around. There may have been some ultra torpedoes right there. Cash Brownie does get a nice little bit of funding. We got a Skywing up in the air, or Refinery Corps trying to avoid these Akula subs. And the MCV does get spotted there by the Akula subs. Empire MCV is trying to make its way back onto land. Now the Soviet MCV is receiving a bit of fire there. He's getting near that Crusher Crane. He needs to crush this ore collector as well. That gives him 1,000 credits. He just gets some hits there by his hammer tank there with the King Oni head. MCV is severely wounded. Looks like it's going to be soon to be a final voyage. Let's take it out and get some great splash damage there. Ultra torpedoes do connect as well. Empire MCV is severely wounded, and here comes the Twin Blades into across the Empire MCV. Also got a Terror Drone now in the mix as well. does go and gun it down there with the heroic Sea-Wing. Oh, here's Sea-Wings advancing forward. Looks like the Soviet MCV may have been crushed. However, the Crusher Crane will not get it in time before the war factory goes down or goes up. Boots up, find some hits there. So got the pair of heroic Shogun battleships are advancing forward. Fires a volley there, takes out the elite Okula sub. Do we have a Sputnik going his way forward, pushing his way forward? And of course, got the Shogun battleships advancing forward. There's no more. There's this infrastructure here for him to hit. Sputnik's pulling out a fresh ore refinery, and he's starting to barrage down these ore collector. It does receive a bit of repairs. Immediately crushes it. Ore collector here will spot these forces. He does go ahead and finish off that ore refinery there, but without any other additional structures. Yep, and he decides to do a mass sell-off. It looks like Scion does manage to win just barely. Pretty good comeback put out by Scion there. I think if Blue wouldn't spin around being stupid, pulling out all those prospectors and sell them off, he would have backed out immediately. Team right side would probably definitely have won. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Greetings everyone, and Grade here of another Relic 3 replay. Spawn on the south side as the Scion Empire, we have Kiro. On the north side as the Green Empire, we have Proflof. Either way, I have a instant generator. Do have some dojo cores being pulled on out. 3 dojo cores. That looks like a refinery core to me. Multiple dojo cores been pulled out. We got 4 dojo cores. This looks like a refinery core. Yep. 3 refinery cores. So we got 3 dojos to 4 dojos. We do have a burst drone. Burst drones do pass each other. We've now got a dojo core advancing forward with for Scion. Let's pull out 1 defensive one here. Could throw on the side this single man garrison. Now over here we do have these forces trying to pursue this dojo core here, which of course is quite wounded. The burst drone may have jumped on top of it and detonated. Let's get a nice crunch there onto the Imperial Warrior. These forces are going to be pursuing the dojo core now. That's going to deploy it out there. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? There is no Mecha Bay. He just sold us MCV with no Mecha Bay. He's going for an all-in. We do have multiple dojo cores being deployed on out. We do have the green dojo core here. He's just deploy out mass Imperial Warrior to stabilize for the time being. A Defender Corps wouldn't be half bad since that'd be anti-infantry. Positive charge there, mutual trade. It doesn't actually get mutual trade right there. It does go take out that one. Got mutual trade there. Let's go and put in the health force. That can get a bit buggy with the units. We've got a good number of tank busters here. Marine had the fact that he should have saw that MCV deployed out. I think at that point in time, a dojo core or a defender core would have net him a pretty easy defense here against all this infantry force or defender corps. He can make his way out to the sea expansion. The sea expansion will be very, very safe for him. All he has to be worried about is Mass Prospector. Green has claimed both oil derricks as well. Let's see. Skywings. He should deploy. He needs to get this Imperial Docks to a Skywing. Or to tier 2 to get out Skywings. Skywings are anti-infantry. They should be rip apart all of his opponent's forces. He won't be able to deploy out a tier 3 Mecha Dojo Core to get out Rocket Angels to deal with them because you will need now take Nanotech Mainframe. So at this point in time, Skywings is his best option. And this naval expansion here. Oh wait! Oh! Holy crap! That engineer from the MCV cell. He's going to capture it with this engineer. He's going to have to immediately sell this thing off. I see the sprint ability there. And he sells it off there. He stops at naval expansion. Let's take a quick look at income. What is, this is Green. Green has nothing. Oh, wait. What was that? Dojo Core? Okay, he had enough for a refinery core. Needs, yeah, it looks like he doesn't have tier 2 just yet. He may have canceled tier 2. Yari Mini Sub. Yari Mini Sub was a bit overkill. He may not realize what his opponent's state is at. First run will, of course, let him spot his opponent. Has a lot of Imperial Warriors, a lot of Tank Busters.
I'll collect the goods.
He will have to deploy out ore collectors, engaged naval. There we go. We got multiple prospectors now being deployed on out. What protocols do we have for his opponent? I don't see any protocols just yet. So nothing, no off maps just yet. And he will go ahead and get this ore refinery there. Keeping this ore collector here for anti-infantry, anti-engineer purposes wouldn't be half bad. Hopefully that is the tier 2. Yeah, it looks like it was tier 2. Docks upgrade. And that will allow him to get out some sea wings, which he can turn into sky wings. And this game has gone a little bit quiet since Green's just taking time to tech up. I'm going to just hit the fast forward button for a moment. And oh, there's the ore collectors engaging each other as the replay bugged out. That's why I don't really hit the fast forward button. Oh great, did I bug out the replay? There it goes, perfect. The ore collectors are engaging the ore collectors. Do we see... Yes, we do have one Skywing. He needs to make sure to keep one ore collector alive. That's all that matters. And the burst drone is now getting on top of the Skywings. This is the only way to deal with the aircraft. Mass burst drone. He needs to make sure this ore collector stays alive. I'm not sure how much income he has. He can always sell the MCV for income. And those two get detonated there. He does need to get his Sea-Wing to a Skywing to save his ore collector. I think he is massively misplaying right now. He should have saved that ore collector. That ore collector is critical. His opponent has claimed both the oil derricks. It's pulling out something here. And I'm not sure... He just hadn't been able to maintain income, so now he's fighting against a mass burst drone. And now his opponent's deploying out ore collectors at sea, trying to engage these forces. I think Green may have lost it. Green has no income left, not enough for anything. The only way to get back in the game is to sell off his MCV. And that would net him a good amount of credits.
The site must be secured.
But now we've got multiple ore collectors coming in, and the anti-aircraft from the burst drones. Okay, he's trying to get over the buildings. Slowly. What does his opponent have? He has a lot of Dojo Cores all across the field. He does not have... He does have one ore collector over here. He pulled too many off, or one mini off. And here comes the migration of ore collectors. They do travel in herds. This one can finish off that ore collector. MCV now being pursued. And it's a bit too late to sell off his MCV. I think Cyan may actually snuck out a win now. He's got these burst drones hit this Skywing. That's the only thing that really poses a threat to him. There goes. One more burst drone and we'll take it out. There's the burst drone. Where's that Skywing? Here we go. The Skywing turned to a Sea-Wing. Can't do much if it's under sea, but the burst drone just need to potentially just... Oh no, the burst drone can't follow it because the Skywing has anti-aircraft weapons, but maybe quick enough to get on top of it. Did he get enough out for a Docks Core? Probably should have gone for Ore Collector. Got one. These ore collectors still have a pile of ore in the back. Navy Yard being thrown in the corner. He may just deploy, once he gets that Naval Yard deployed, we may set up his MCV and sell it. Does spot the MCV there. In pursuit. Hot pursuit. Sell. The longer he waits, the less money he gets from selling off. Ah, that's what he's waiting for. And the engineer does get gunned down right there. And here comes the final squadron. Guns down one of the tank busters. Try and gun down the instant generator. He still has plenty of infrastructure on the field. And the burst drone does take out the last Skywing. Okay, what's being deployed out? He needs to make sure. Let's see. He's another 700 credits here. He needs to.
Yari submerging.
No, stop building that. He must have it calculated down to exact credit because it's getting pretty close. It's Imperial Warrior inside there. Let's just...
I'll collect the goods.
And the burst drone does spot that region. And here comes the mass ore collector. Yari Misa is going to try to micro. I can't go any farther south than this. It's the edge of the map. Taking quite a bit of fire. He needs to turn off aggressive mode so he can focus on that Yari Misa. Yari Misa needs to get under the sea. Okay, now he's putting some pressure on the Yari onto the ore refining. Is getting some credits in. Trying to go up for another Yari mini sub. Can't take time to tech up to get tsunami tanks.
Yari submerging.
And the honorable discharge will provide some good damage output. Now we've got two Yari mini subs, so doubles his damage output. Takes out another ore collector there, but the naval yard will go down to the mass ore collector. And Green's back out of the game. That's the game. I say Green could have had a lot of good opportunities, but I think he threw it in the end. This is Anagrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Then again, how often do you ever fight against that? I think it was a little bit... I'm not sure what else he should have done. I'm just trying to think in my head. The engineer delaying that expansion was very important. Let's see. Let's go for this one here. Have I cast this one yet? I just want to double check. I do not believe so. Greens have won, and Grade here for another Roller 3 replay. Spawn on the right side as the blue allies. We have... This is X on you red, I think. Spawning as the orange allies. We have Infa Mouse 73, I guess. Spawning as the yellow Soviet, we have Stabber. That's pretty easy to read. Spawning as the opponent as the red allies, we have Anti-Terror 32-bit. Spawning as the magenta Soviets, we have Exot bitch. spawning as the green allies, we have who's actually chose random. We got a Crusher Crane deployed out here, as well as an allied power plant. We also got some Doggies. Doggies trying to push the engineer a little bit faster. But we've got a pair of bears there, and since the dogs are actually getting stuck on the engineer, bad bark, bad roar, good bark there, getting both the bears. And the engineer will... Oh wait, no, there's another bear there. Get a mutual trade, but no, the double team allowed it to be a dog eat bear world. Not a bear eat dog world. We've got this dog advancing forward, does spot the refineries. Big shock. Good boy. We've got a power plant here, as well as his teammate's reactor, so this guy is also receiving power from his teammates. Not necessarily receiving power, but just power plants. Looks like the bear and the dog both got a bark roar off. We've got a handful of peacekeepers here. Looks like we got 7 peacekeepers. We've got 1 dog, 1 javelin troop, and the bear does go and get gunned down. Magenta has a bear here, depending on the roar, or just get a free hit. Not even mutual trade, so great engagement there by Magenta, and grabs himself another bear, so that bear, I'm sort of surprised he can get veterancy. Yellow space seem awfully bare bones. Not sure. Should we have something else to point out? Going for more power plants? Blue has gone for a faster airfield, going for not even extra air. No ore refinery actually being queued up. I have no idea what he's doing. Going for straight for cryocopters. That's what he's doing. He's doing a cryocopter rush. The outer player doesn't have a whole lot there. Stingray gets a shot off on the Soul Destroyers, needs to pursue it to the ends of the Earth, which the ends of the Earth is right here. Cryocopters coming forward, gains a good freeze there onto the Prospector, and since there's 2 Cryocopters, it does quickly freeze down the stuff. He needs to cancel that flak cannon, as well as make sure the Vindicator doesn't stay around it as well. It's a frozen up, and Green's backed out of the game immediately, so Green has been forced out. Got an oil derrick here. Yellow's expanding out to the sea. And also has the naval dockyard down south. And has a Stingray rush as well. That's something usually, that's pretty rare. But going for the flak cannon. And the Assault Destroyer does go and crush those wall segments there. We got 6 Stingrays on the field. And one of the Stingrays do get crushed by the Assault Destroyer. We got a Motor Gunner IV, as well as a handful of peacekeepers now advancing forward, trying to go for barracks for some bears. And then he didn't wall up his his walls, so allow these forces to advance forward. Vindicator's coming on in, barracks does go down. Those like not a whole bombing run there, and now we've got a Motor Gunner turret there. Doesn't take out that. Takes out the Motor Gunner IV, throws in a volley there. Now the Ore Cook that's advancing forward, allowing some missiles there, microing his teammate's Motor Gunner turret, if that makes any sort of sense. Freezing out one of the peacekeepers there, another boot camp being deployed on out. And just a large number of expansions for Yellow. Needs to pull out a sentry gun at this current rate. Super Reactor being deployed out on his teammate's base. A little bit of a vulnerable spot. Maybe could go over here. Blue's finally got this expansion point as well, and now we've got Magenta advancing forward with some various forces. Sickles, bears, bullfrogs, and a dog. Motor Gunner IFVs pushing way forward, getting some hits there onto these wall segments. Bit spreading out his fire. It does throw another layer of walls there. Magenta does have some great income. Holy crap. Magenta is pushing forward with a whole bunch of refineries. So Magenta's mass expanding out. It still has access to allied technology as well. So he does have 2 MCVs. Does have a boot camp here. Needs to get out a allied engineer for repairs. It's pulling out some javelin troops as well. Get some good hits there on the flak onto the Cryocopters. Going out to the Tesla Coil and a barracks here. Multiple Motor Gunner IFVs. The Soviet MCV is almost down. Soviet MCV does go down. He is a Soviet player, so he's Soviet protocols, but has allied MCVs here, now under siege by peacekeepers. Motor Gunner IFE is pushing way forward. One of them loaded with a Javelin troop, two of them loaded with peacekeepers. And Bears just gets good hits there. It does get cleaned up, however. And we got barracks and boot camp here, and a motor gunner turret. A bit of everything. What does a motor gunner turret looks like when you throw a conscript on the inside? I have no idea. Does take out the motor gunner IFV? I'm not sure what's actually. Oh, there's what was casting a Desolator Strike. Down south, we've got the Assault Riptides and Assault Destroyer with Stingray support advancing forward. Slowly breaking down this area. Assault Destroyer needs to start gunning down this region as well. We got orange multi-gunner turrets supporting Blue's base. Yes, this is actually Blue's base. There's a lot of different colors here. Nice cryo shot there, freezing down all these forces, able to shatter. Oh, no, he's out of range. And Surgical Strike does come through. Surgical Strike is actually a very rare ability to see at this stage of the game. He may not even go in for the cryo path line. And we do have random crates on the field. Assault Destroyer does go and crush a whole bunch of wall segments. These forces are making their way up north. Something we'll just do a quick check. Yep. It was just green that was defeated. Does find some shots there onto the motor gunner turrets. Good bombing runs coming on in. Motor gunner turrets are being picked off by the Vindicators. He actually loaded that one up with a Javelin troop, I believe. Not sure if Flak troop does the same effect. Stingray is now being forced out, being focused down by the hammer tanks. Let's clean them all up. And also got some dogs, or bears and a dog advancing forward. We do have a whole bunch of miscellaneous fleet right there. Peacekeepers are getting some good damage onto the ore refinery. The bears do get cleaned on up, so does a dog. Ore refinery does go on down over here. We do got Reds sieging down Yellow's infrastructure with Athena cannons that can bypass these walls. Gets good hits there, takes out the ore collector. And there goes the ore refinery. And there's also a cash crate there. He saw it popped up and does grab for himself some 1,000 credits. Power plant going on down. We do have the oil derrick going to focus down as well. Magenda's making its way forward, trying to deal with Orange's base. Up here, you got Yellow's base being ripped apart as well. Orange and Magenta and Red making some good headway, but Orange started slowly creeping forward with his fleet. This is a very heavy fleet. He's producing a lot of units, Magenta is. He does have a lot of income, but right now, he's somewhat to deal with this naval force. Got a good amount. He does have a Hydra 4 anti-aircraft and some Riptides for escort and the Assault Destroyer for protection. So a nice, good combat force, task force. We do got now a Prism tank deployed on out, ripping apart these various Magenta forces, and the frozen units cannot get shattered by Prism cannons. Most things can shatter frozen units, but not the Prism cannon on the Mirage tank. Let's finish off more and more of these sickles. One more sickle remains. We got these forces, including some Mirage tanks of its own. Vindicators getting shot out of the sky. Athena cannons getting some great hits on the infrastructure. Red's going to push on forward. One of the Guardian tanks does get infected. It's a heroic one. And he does not get focused down. The Terror Drone does find another Guardian tank there. Blue's infrastructure is getting ripped apart once again. Guardian Tank needs to push on forward in order to just get focused down. He's not really focusing down all too well. It does get infect there on the sickle. And could find, yeah, it does get infect there on the Athena cannon. Him not focusing, none of them getting the Athena cannon or the Terror drone is getting so many effects. He's going to lose both of his Athena cannons to that Terror drone. His forces push his way forward as well. Got a good number of Mirage tanks that can quickly focus on these structures without the aid of the Athena cannon, but now the Mirage tanks are being focused down by the Vindicators. And now Magenta's force is coming in for a nice little flank there. Although Magenta's his teammate, which does include Hammer tanks and Bullfrogs. So it's a good force between the two of them. But there's a lot of various infrastructure here for all three players on the right side. Got a good amount of infrastructure down here for orange and yellow as well. What does yellow even have? Has a crusher crane, so production is good. Battle lab deployed out as well. And vacuum imploder down to 3 minutes. Where's the vacuum imploder located at? Is it down here? Vacuum imploder is located down south, far away from their opponent's bases. It became a vertical map for team and for this game, rather than left and right. Now it's vertical. These forces are starting to fall on back. We do have these forces withdrawing as well. And it looks like the orbital deck does get cleaned up by a Vindicator bombing run. Oh, there may have been satellites right here. It's hard for me to tell. Magenta signing for some more aggression. Now we've got an Iron Curtain deployed out by Yellow as well. Yellow's just going for super weapons. Dolphins, sadistic creatures, are ripping apart aircraft carrier. And that one does get frozen as well. Dolphins starting to engage in riptides. They could go out to the land in order to gun down the forces, gun them down from land, since they only can have they only have an anti-naval weapon. Though you can't force fire the ground, it's a bit of an exploit to engage the ground targets. Black cannon being deployed now. Got multiple twin blades here. And now orange is making its way down. Oh no, that's retreating. I mean, all the colors mixed up in this game. That's the airstrike, I believe this is. Yep, does net himself a good number of javelin troops there. Ooh, and this Bullfrog gets some good damage on these Vindicators, but they should be able to withdraw no problem. Twin Blades of Fancy Ford, no Apollos in this region, nor multi-gunner turret. Or at least one in range. Looks like a flak tower being deployed out by the Soviet player, but he's going to lose the airfield either way. Apollo coming forward, taking a bit of time to gun down the Twin Blades. Multi-gunner IV is still avoiding its range. Over here, Red's advancing forward with some Prism tanks here and Guardians. Two javelin troops advance here to support as well for anti-aircraft purposes. And here comes the Vindicator. Not much anti-aircraft they provided. Vacuum imploders down to 20 seconds. Gotta hit the infrastructure of this opponent's army. They don't really have a... getting hits on this MCV is pretty good, but the team left side doesn't really have a tight loose armor, and picks himself up a healing crate there, and that's why people don't play with random crates. I know random crates are a bit stigmatized in Kane's Wrath. Not sure about Red Alert. I think they're pretty stigmatized in Kane's Wrath because of, oh, just get a whole bunch of veterancy crates. Oh, heard the vacuum imploder. There's the vacuum imploder. Takes out the MCV. I was trying to say beforehand, random crates are stigmatized in Kane's Wrath because you get a whole bunch of veteran crates for your Redeemer or your Hexapod or your Marv, and you just got a free heroic what's it called? Ultimate unit? Uber unit? I forget exactly what it's called. Good damage there. Magenta's losing a bit of infrastructure now. Red's trying to stall them out. There's a lot of prison tanks here. One now fully heroic. And there's a good number of javelin troops here as well. This horse is getting quite veteran. We've got the fair Mirage tanks here, but they're a little bit out veteran. And here comes a bomb run as well as a Cryogeddon. He's got one of the Mirage tanks there as well. And here comes Iron Curtain on his teammate's force. He did actually kill off a couple of Javelin troops, but that's fine because holy Iron Curtain Mirage tanks are something you do never want to see. Because they're fully indestructible and able to rip through most structures in an instant. And there we go, team left side heads back to the game. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Relo 3 replay. Spawn on the bottom left side as the Green Empire player, we have Yuno. Spawn on the top right side as the Blue Soviets, we have Blue Magos. I suppose Cyan is a kind of blue. Oh, howdy. Just all your team, not teams, YouTube message. Or chat. I'm going crazy. We do have these Dojo cores pushing the way forward. Likely one to here, one over here, and let's see where they're going. We got the bear here trying to interrupt any sort of engineer deployment. We got a burst drone here. Burst drones cannot land on top of bears and explode. Just pull out the Dojo core right there. Now the bear's going to make its way back over here since it's safe from being crushed. I'm exhausted right now. Daylight savings is kicking my butt. I hate daylight savings. Engineers will go and capture up that oil derrick. Black troopers do find the Dojo core, and there's a good number of bears here as well. Trying inside the garrison with this Imperial warrior, and does get inside the. Oh, he gets a massive roar off there. Does take out both the flak troopers, and looks like the bear does get a trade there with an Imperial warrior, or maybe got gunned down for the garrison. Engineer likely being deployed out now. Garrison being cleaned up by the Molotovs. Just want to get inside the garrison as well. Your warrior's advancing forward. He may need to do a bonsai charge, but no, does lose one there. Great mark for the bears. And now the Molotovs coming forward and cleans out that garrison as well. Does go in. Oh, nice. Oh, not even mutual trade there. Gets it before he pulls out his sword entirely. Daylight savings originally came about for power saving. I'm not exactly sure how every country's reasoning why, but I'm pretty sure, like, for example, in Germany, they did it not because, like, oh, it's meant for farmers. It's meant for, say, factory workers able to use more natural lighting than artificial lighting. Back when power production was much less, and they had to be a bit more concerned about the energy grid. They still have to be concerned about the energy grid nowadays, but nowadays we just keep our lights on 24/7, and we rely on artificial lighting 24/7 hours a day. I'm not sure where you're living at, but in the States, all of our supermarkets, all the lights are on 24 hours a day, no matter what. During the daytime, during nighttime, they're just always on. So it's less and less useful for energy saving. Mecha Tengu does get infected there. He does go and take it out. Burst drone does get on top of the hammer tank. And now got conscripts advancing forward, trying to deal with the garrison. Got Molotovs rolling on in. Hasn't really been doing a good job of avoiding the Molotovs. And that looks like actual attack order. If I remember correctly, a good video, if you're curious about more about daylight savings, is a video by CPG Gray. There's a lot of good information information videos with sort of how to describe it, cartoonish style without being cartoonish, if that makes any sort of sense. Stick figure, pretty much. First drone is still on top of the hammer tank there, and it looks like there is a wall breach here. Chopper VXs are advancing forward, trying to get some harassment. There's one bullfrog out on the field, and does take out the burst drone now. And with that burst drone there, it's able to provide him some great scouting information. And does take out the bullfrog there. Did see a bit of fire, but now he's able to pick off everything because of thanks to that scouting. He's able to know exactly where his opponent was and how much it was of composition. Yep, he made a one. I'm not sure how long ago. It's a pretty old video. I think his first set of videos was like involving the various election styles, first past the post, alternate vote, and all that sort. I think that's some of his first videos. What was that, like 2012? Holy crap. Oro Derrick's now under siege from the Chopper VXs. That'll make both Oro Derricks now down. And he does take out that Terror Drone now. Yep, that moment when you start feeling old. Civilian structure received a bit of fire there. We've got the Chopper VXs sieging down the garrison. Able to destroy the garrison as well. Now trying to pursue the conscripts, or they're just going to crawl away. Just trying to get the structures cleaned up. Got bullfrogs under respawn. Got some jet tangos in the air as well. You go to go ahead and transform down. Does lose one. And I think I saw a flak trooper fire burst as well. There may be a flak trooper in one of these garrisons. Going out Ore Refinery. And now have a Desolate Airstrike right here as well. Does get some good hits there. Does use a jet tango to draw fire. Now trying to pursue these bullfrogs. Bullfrogs getting good engagement. Let's see how all the bullfrogs there trying to siphon down the structure for extra health. Molotovs are raining in on the Ore Refinery, putting up the wall segment to disrupt them. That's going to get inside the garrison once again. More Molotovs raining on in. Molotovs, of course, can hit the wall segments. RTS called 0K? I have not. I'll take a look at it. More wall segments coming up forward. And we do have a jet tango over here. And more of these garrisons being cleaned on up. Look how many garrisons are actually garrisoned by the Soviet player. I suppose you could just throw conscripts everywhere and slow down your opponent. Anytime your opponent has to spend time to get rid of your conscripts outside of garrisons is actually a good trade. Because conscripts are cheap, Imperial Warriors are more expensive, so it's not a mutual trade. And if you just stall out your opponent, that never hurts as well. There's a Crusher Crane on this expansion point here, able to get some good repairs. Oh, that's a little bit morbid. Very solemn of you, eh? Looks like he is a little bit low in funding, having trouble pulling out wall segments. Doesn't think get transform right there. This ore collector is quite wounded. Does go and buck armored, so we'll keep it safe from the honorable discharge. Now got some think busters being deployed on out. The hammer tank is now sort of falling on back. Got some bullfrogs making their way to the center. Grab the garage as either player can be very handy. Now got Twin Blade Blood on the field. Got Jet Tango's Tower in the mix. If Jet Tango does go down, got a good number of bullfrogs out on the field as well. Cash brought down the Tank Busters, trying to gun them down with the Twin Blade. Very nice. One goes down. Hammer Tanks are trying to get some leech beams off, grab some extra guns. Got some Jet Tangos here. Tanks for repairs, leeching down some of these Tsunami Tanks. Now got a Conscript being para-dropped in. And it looks like these tank busters will go ahead and go on down. Though it looks like the cash bounty actually wore off. We'll get a couple of rebates. Or bounties, I should say. Striker VX is on the high ground, very nice. That provides great anti-aircraft coverage. Does lose some forces. Does get a now dual wielding hammer tank. Desert Trench does come on in as well, blocking down the instant dojo. Hammer tank's gonna push its way forward. There's a lot of wall segments to break through here, but going for the instant dojo is probably a good idea. Well, those Striker VXs do go down. Tsunami tank over here. Now the focus is more off. And more wall segments going on up. More harassment, very good. Harassment here as well. I don't know why that seemed awfully green, but it is cyan. And now the ore refinery is being under siege. Not sure what his defense will be. We've got some more Chopper VXs, more Mecha Tengus. This ore collector is being pursued. This one was cleaned up by the hammer tank. Though I think the ore collector is way over here. It can be sent back to the line, has received enough health to get back and going. And it looks like this one may be left out to dry. Lots of fire coming down on that ore refinery. These twin blades will pose a problem. You need some Striker VXs here. Those are conscript on the high ground, very good. Now Tsunami takes receiving a bit of fire. Here comes the Striker VXs. It's one of the twin blades. Both the twin blades were severely wounded. Now one's fully dead. Tsunami takes advancing forward. Gets good hits there onto the hammer tanks. And there goes some more of the hammer tanks. The hammer tanks being pursued by the Tsunami tanks. Got some Jet Tengus or Mega Tengus in the mix as well. Takes out a good number of these hammer tanks. Can go to use Nam the to get these guys healed up a little bit. Conscripts are on the high ground, and now the Chopper VXs are in pursuit of the last remaining hammer tank. And does not leash down anything in time. Jet Tengus flying about. There's of course a Tesla coil which will stop any Jet Tengu harassment. Reactor going on up, and a Tsuno flat cannon to prevent any Chopper VX harassment. Construction yard receiving quite a bit of fire. Over here, we've got the Tsunami tanks running around. And as you use now the deflector right there, getting some much needed health and mobility. Ooh, and the Soviet MCV is almost down. Soviet MC does go down there. Twin Blades unable to save it. Tsunami tanks out at sea. And there's no more flak tower here, so now the Chopper VX is able to clean up everything. He does have a, what's it called, a crusher crane for deployment of structures. Takes out the Tesla coil as well. Now going for the flak cannon. Flak cannon does get stopped. Now it can start hitting the rest of the stuff. Now Tsunami tanks can push in their damage as well. Over here, hammer tanks are advancing forward. Both of them are not outgunned. We got a Tsunami tank and a pair of Jet Mecha Tengus. Here comes another Tsunami tank. With the repairs from the Mecha Bay, should be able to win out this no problem. Does save us Mecha Tengus. Focus fire is pretty good from the Tsunami tanks. And hammer tanks are unable to focus fire past the DPS of the Mecha Bay. Also got some MiGs out in the sky. 4 MiGs. We got the Tsunami tanks advancing forward. In the airfield will be quite nice, going for a defensive wall. Oh, he's still hitting it. The wall's not actually fully built. Does get enough income to finish the wall. Try and focus down the wall now. He's focused down one of the wall segments. There we go. He's getting that gap. But see how slow the wall is being built. It does take out the airfield before losing it. Before the wall goes up, I should say. So it takes down the mix as well, trying to hit that ore collector. Just a bit on suicide run. The naval commission has been fully cleaned on up. Looks like he killed off his own terror drone there with the... it could have been the Tsunami tanks, but I don't think it was a twin blade. As conscript's still here for scouting purposes, the Chopper VXs can take it out, and does manage to save the ore collector. The ore collector is severely wounded, so we have reduced income. Or, if I remember correctly, they only reduce like the income by about 10%, which is noticeable, but not as critical as people may believe. These are the Chopper BX. Got some bears out at sea, some sea bears. Let's draw a circle in order to prevent them from attacking. Let's get a nice point defense drone right there. One of the MiGs do go down. The other two are not near the Crusher Crane. Oh, looks like he is in range of the Crusher Crane's repair radius. Or this one is, but not the other two. Plus, Tsunami Tanks has been infected. Could try blitzing back on home in order to stay alive. The garage down in the middle of the map has not been claimed. Let's go ahead and finish off. Nope, there's still this Terror Drone did actually kill it off and gets a reinfect. So now I'm taking advancing forward, may break some wall segments, and that's about it. You got and now a Tesla Trooper deployed on the field. Point defense drone does absorb that shot. Over here, looks like I got some various looks like the one that makes did go down, the other two makes it severely wounded. Let's take the Prospector there. He could take time to does get an extra gun there on the Hammer Tank. I was gonna say he could try using the EM Disruptor ability. Trying to highlight it, but I can't highlight it for some odd reason. Oh well, I may need to have the player actually selected. And this Terror Drone's going to be limping away. It's elite, but damaged. Crusher Crane can repair it. We got a bear on the high ground. And the bear does get cleaned up. The conscript has gone down as well. Howdy. I just saw your message, your YouTube comment. Let's get a trade there, but that's good for the conscript. The Soviet player. Not as like a good for the conscript. And now I've got the Hammer Tank with two guns advancing forward. We've got a handful of bullfrogs here to support. And just throw a conscript onto the high ground. Good volley there by the Chopper VXs, or Striker VXs does take both of them out. Jet Tank is advancing forward. We're seeing quite a bit of fire right there, focusing on some of these Hammer Tanks. Terror Drone, the Elite one is here, severely wounded. Jet Tank, the Mecha Tank is completely cleaning that up. But also a Tank Buster in the mix as well. Picking off one of these Mecha Tankers one at a time. And the Conscript's going to be gunning down the Tank Busters as well. Conscript on the high ground does get cleaned on up. We got a Terror Drone in here as well. And looks like all those Conscripts went down, followed to an honorable discharge. Terror Drone's still alive. Crushed Tank Buster will get crushed. And something being deployed out right there. I'm not sure what though. Wait, no, it's Empire. Okay, just more wall segments. That's what he's trying to do. Trying to leech down the Instant Dojo. Maybe one of the few times where a Rock Angel wouldn't hurt, but that's never going to happen. Instant Dojo does pull out one more Tank Buster before going down. And make another one. Oh, sorry, I just saw your message. Futurist version of the Soviet Union? Not really. It's Red Alert. Red Alert takes everything sci-fi and skew it in a weird direction. You got the, how to put it? You got Tesla Troopers, Tesla Coils, flying blimps, but not sure if that's futuristic or not, and things of that sort. And conscripts with AK-47 Molotovs. It takes everything and shifts it a weird direction. That basically sums up Red Alert. Mecha Bay Corps now receiving quite a bit of fire from the Hammer Tanks. Tank Busters advancing forward, and one Imperial Warrior. He's trying to go for a crush there. Gets a nice crush there. One more Tank Busters on the flank. And Tsunami Tanks being deployed on out. Chopper VXs are pushing the way forward, getting some good damage onto the Hammer Tanks. Hammer Tanks are focusing on these Tsunami Tanks. As well as are focusing on some of these units one by one. Got more and more Tank Busters over here. Yeah. Racial stereotypes? Sort of. Not really sure if anime is racial stereotypes with the Japanese. More of a cultural stereotype. I think cultural stereotypes is probably a better term than racial stereotypes. Is the generator now under siege? It looks like this refinery will go down. Over here, we've got some chopper VXs advancing forward, trying to hit some of these structures. We've got some jet tangos in the air as well. Just going to just turn on health bars. And now the crusher crane is being focused down. Solar Player has not rebuilt his MCV. That means this could be MCV inside of here, but if he loses that, he will not get MCV and start losing all his production. And with the lack of MCV is going what's causing Soviet Player downplay because he has not built it. He spent too much time on the crusher crane and didn't take time to rebuild it. And now the Empire player ran out to sea, and the Soviet player has surrendered. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Hurt your wallet? Probably not. Brother 3 came out, what, 2008? And especially if you wait for a sale, you could probably get it for like $2, $3. You may want to go to EA and find like the like Command & Conquer Collector's Edition, or not Collector's Edition, like there's an edition where you can just get all the games for like $10, $15. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Red Alert 3 replay. Spawn on the north side as the Green Empire, we have Yuno. Spawn on the south side as the Yellow Soviets, we have Blue Magos, who is not blue, he's yellow. So got 1, 2 Dojo cores, instant Dojo cores, third instant Dojo core being deployed on out. And now we've got some refinery cores. Nope, real time. This is Command & Conquer. Command & Conquer is the pioneers of real-time strategy games. Their original company, Westwood, before EA disbanded them, were the original creators of the RTS as a concept of a game concept. Back in what, Doom 2 in 91, 92? You got some more instant dojos being deployed on out. Neither. It is more close to like StarCraft 2. Ore Collector receiving a burst drone. And now we got the Clock Trooper. Does throw a mag mine there. Does take out the dojo core there, allowing the engineer to claim the oil derrick. Over here we got some conscripts pushing their way forward into the civilian structure. And does throw some mag mines and taking out the bridge as well, denying that path. We got, looks like an engineer deployed on out, capturing up the oil derrick now. And now we do have a handful of Imperial warriors advancing forward. We got the civilian structure here, built with a handful of conscripts, not sure how many. Looks like 4 or 5. That was 4 Imperial warriors, so he does go ahead and get 4 of the conscripts out, leaving 1 remaining. Let's get inside this garrison, which would be good for spotting. First drone flying around, got the super reactor deployed on the out in the sea. Maybe a little bit dangerous because super reactors tend to explode. Conscripts are advancing forward into the middle of the map. Oh, on a side note as well, in order to play Red Alert 3 online, you use the old GameSpy server. So if you want to play between other players or friends, you will have to download a Revora server. So the official servers have been shut down, so now it's a third-party service you have to install. Ore refinery going on down. Third expansion. The oil derrick over here is still claimed, but we've got a dojo core right next to it. The Empire MCV has pushed its way forward. Do have the Tesla coil being deployed on out. as well as the Mecha Tengus engaging the ore refinery. GameSpy wasn't the old server hosting system. Now you have to use the Revora servers. So, yeah, GameSpy. How long ago was GameSpy shut down? It's like 2014 or 2016, right? By the way, just the old server hosting system used by, I think, EA for their earlier games. I think even before Origin was even a thing. Chopper VX is even quite a bit of fire right there. Got some Molotovs being thrown on top of the Mecha Tengu. And the Paradrone does go ahead and snare it. And surprisingly enough, for an old game as well, Relic 3's graphics holds up extremely well for a 2008 game. Liam Chester, can you post the year that Relic 3 was actually released? I think it was 2008. I could be mistaken. Conscript being paradropped on in, but does find Imperial Warrior inside the garrison. Physical Royal does receive quite a bit of fire. It does go ahead and go on down. Bullfrogs are advancing forward. And we got these Chopper VXs receiving quite a bit of fire, and they are so wounded but manage to stay alive. We got another instant dojo being deployed on out. And we got the force Molotovs trying to break down these walls. And he walled in the hammer tank. Bullfrog's coming here to support as well. And he's just going to try to break out his own hammer tank first. October 2008. It's amazing how well this game's graphics holds up. The engine they used for this, as well as Kane's Draft and Tib Wars 3, it just holds up pretty well, though it is locked to 60 FPS. Let's take out the burst drone there. I do play Hearts of Iron 4. I'm just horrible at it. I just do have like my own like personal plays on the weekend sort of thing. There's a person you may want to follow if you want to find those sort of videos. You may like try to explore different little aspects of the various paths. It's probably Feedback Gaming. He may be up your alley. Ore Collector receiving quite a bit of fire. It will likely go down to the Honorable Discharge. If not gunned down, be gunned down first. Yeah, I actually got gunned down first. But either way, the Ore Collector does go down. Got a Crusher Crane deployed out here. He could cancel a Crusher Crane at this point in time. He needs a bit more income to get this Ore Collector going. He's building something here as well. The Crusher Crane is more of a minor focus than a big focus. Got a handful of tank buses now behind these walls, including Imperial Warrior. We got these Imperial Warriors getting zapped by the Tesla Coil now. It does manage to gun down that Imperial Warrior as well, with the single conscript still remaining in that garrison. Imperial Warrior does get a force out of this garrison here. And now we've got a Nanotech mainframe being pulled out. He's going for some higher technology. Probably for some Wave Force Artillery and King Oni, my guess. I could see some Shogun Battleship, but that would be expensive transition. Probably going to see Wave Force Artillery. More Instraders being deployed on out. And it looks like the oil derrick is now receiving a bit of fire. It had been catched by the Empire. The May could get some shots there onto the Chopper VXs. And over here we got the Jet Tengus flying about. Oh, enjoy. Oh, Derek has received quite a bit of fire, but does go ahead and fall back with the Twin Blades, trying to pursue these Mecha Tengus as he has a feeling upon land on his refinery line, so just right there. And it looks like the Flak Trooper there couldn't get any mag mines off. Mecha Tengus receiving quite a bit of fire there, does manage to escape. There's, of course, a handful of MiGs in the air, as well as Bullfrogs on the ground. Over here, we've got some Chopper VXs. As Ore Collector is receiving Terror Drone, not fire, rip apart. Trying to focus it down, does take out the Terror Drone like that, very good. And now it looks like the Twin Blades advancing forward, getting some good damage there onto the Oil Derrick. The Oil Derrick does go down, splashes the Instant Dojo a little bit. And over here, do got these Chopper VXs advancing forward, getting some good hits there on the Tesla coil. Bullfrog's finding some good damage there onto the Chopper VXs. And over here, we got looks like the Twin Blades getting a kill there on one of the Ore Collectors. Defender Corps advancing out to the sea. We do have Imperial docks here. And now the Dojo Corps does go down as well. Do got a Defender Corps here. Trying, maybe it's going to be setting it on up. Bullfrogs advancing forward to the center, and got the Twin Blades and the MiGs. Got a nice force here, mostly Air Forces. You need to make an opening for the Bullfrogs. Or keep them in an area to fall back to. Because here comes the, oh, nice little retreat order there. Or reverse move order. Runs straight over the MiGs and the Bullfrogs, but looks like the Jet Tengus annihilated him. That was not a good engagement for the Soviet player. Throw some satellites in as well. Now we do have a Wave Force artillery now deployed on the field. You might want to get some Tsunami tanks and Striker VXs to escort it as well. Your warriors would never hurt. MiGs are out at sea, and the twin Jet Tengu is going to fly about. May find engagement here. We got a flak cannon, flak tower here. Could go ahead and there's also a garrison here as well. I'm not sure what's inside the garrison. Could drop down one there. That's an easy engagement, and there's a potential easy engagement here as well. So a little bit exposed. Twin Blades going to try to put some damage on in. Very good. Got a number of Twin Blades or Bullfrogs in this region. Comes down two of the Mecha Tengus. Third one does go down. MiGs are in the air as well, so he won't be able to run away all too well. Yep, and it's going to get completely gunned down. The Soviet player is now eyeing for a naval expansion. It looks like this naval expansion does get destroyed by the Wave Force artillery. Going for the super reactor is a good idea, since it will splash down everything around. Probably take out the reactor. Yes, it does. And throws the Tesla coil in low power mode as well. Need to make sure to finish that off quickly, because the last thing you want to do is be next to that while it powers up. The point defense drone is getting gunned up a little bit as well. There was a missile up at the MiG. But now he could perhaps just focus on a ground-based composition. His opponent invested a lot into MiGs. And if he doesn't go for any more air forces, he won't be able to do much with them. We've now got a Defender VX right here. Gets some good damage onto the MiGs, but does get gunned down by the Twin Blades. Striker VX is trying to come over here to support. The ore refinery maybe next, trying to rebuild the ore collector. Over here, got a defender core. Has the anti-ground weapons activated. Needs to go with the anti-aircraft weapons as soon as possible. And I think I hear some jet tengus or mecha tengus. Now I got a defender core out here. Does get an anti-aircraft mode. Get some great hits there onto the MiG. MiGs are seeing more and more fire there. Does use it to absorb shots. He's got two of the MiGs and put a good amount of damage to the other. Now allows the Jet Tengus to advance forward. Takes out the MiGs though. Could take time to pursue down these twin blades. Jet Tengus are quite quickly. And yeah, he's going to pursue down all these twin blades. Tried to land there. Does land successfully with one of them. He could transform one to gun it down on the deck. Actually, there's two of them landed. And now we're pursued by the rest. So we got some satellites now raining on in. Looks like a level 2, level 3. Level 2 satellites. And Wave Force artillery is now fine clean up a garrison. There's also a sea wing out at sea. This they got one of the conscripts. Got the MiGs flying about as well. And a Shogun battleship just fired a volley there. So now he's going for a naval force. We got these MiGs here. Jet Tengus are now flying about. Now if we're pursuing these forces, no problem. Wave Force artillery advancing forward. May find some hits there. Let's quickly pick up these hammer tanks. Hammer tanks does go focus down. Good hits there onto the MiGs. MiGs trying to focus down some of the Striker VXs there. Got the Bullfrogs down the low ground. MiGs getting cleaned on up. He needs to transform the Striker Chopper VXs. And now here comes these Twin Blades going counterattack. Getting some good hits on in. Chopper VXs need to get over here and start shooting down the aircraft. Because still got one Wave Force artillery and Bullfrogs advancing over there. Still got a handful of Twin Blades in the air. And the Striker VXs should be able to deal with them. Good focus down the airfield with the one more shot, and now we're going to be a fully heroic Wave Force artillery. Wave Force artillery now fully heroic. As he does fire a shot over here as well. And does get a nice premature discharge and finish off the Terror drone as well. Very good micro on the Wave Force artillery. Those who actually learn how to micro the Wave Force artillery can be monsters. And I don't think that was a fully charged shot either. And that was fully charged. Let's get some great hits there. We do got a pair of Shogun battleships. May need some more sea wings for escort. Takes out all the infrastructure, and the Soviet players' base is going on down. Oh, he sells off the airfield? Not sure what that was. This airfield is going down. He does have the Soviet MCVs out at sea, so he does have production. Gets some great hits there. Finds them unattended and does take them out. Super reactor receiving quite a bit of fire. Does take out that super reactor now. Breaks down all the wall segments as was put in low power. Decent force here. He does have an ore collector. Does have one missing refinery. Does have this naval expansion here going for a super reactor. And now the Shogun battleships are going underway and maybe hit this expansion. He'll likely go past it. He will spot it if he's trying to go around, overseas. Or through that little pass. I cannot think today. My mind's fried right now. Twin Blades do find all this unintended infantry. Now they're attended to. MiGs are charging forward, get some good damage there onto the Jet Tengus. And over here, do got a terror drone swimming about. And over here, the terror drone's advancing forward, maybe trying to eye some of this stuff. Sea-Wings and the Yari mini sub are pushed here. We got the 2 Shogun battleships, more Yari mini subs, a nice escort force there. And looks like I got the likely there's going to be level 3 satellites. Yes, there's a level 3 satellite. International Space Station says hello. Doesn't take out this infrastructure. Severely wounded, but alive. And the Soviet player has backed out of the game. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on next replay. So now thinking about it, I am getting a bit exhausted. Oh, howdy, I just saw your Rumble message. Yep, Blood 3 is a pretty fun game. If you just want to play the campaign, you probably can get it cheap right now. I haven't got much sleep lately, so I'm going to have to call the stream early and get some rest. Everyone, have a good day, have a good evening, get some good sleep, and screw daylight.